So the agenda for today, teachers will learn the importance of using manipulatives to enhance instruction. Teachers will learn the steps for implementing manipulatives in their lessons. And then by the end of this presentation, you should be able to create lessons using virtual manipulatives. So we're going to go through an opening work period and closing. I have just dropped a link in the chat, which is the handout that you will be navigating through as we go through this presentation. So if you go ahead and open the link, the first thing that we have is the manipulative sort. So if you could click on the pictures and drag them to their correct titles for the manipulatives. Click on the pictures and drag them to their correct titles. I'm going to give you 1 minute. All right. So go ahead and check your answers. So of course we have spinners, centimeter cubes, fraction circles, we have fraction tiles, two color counters. So these are all manipulatives that you may have in your building, especially if you're a Title I school. So get with your instructional coaches or your department chairs if you want to experience the hands-on manipulatives. So tell me and I'll forget. Show me and I may remember. Involve me and I'll understand. So of course, if you tell me something within a couple of days, I probably forgot what you said. But if you actually take me through the actions of something, I'm going to remember and understand how we did that. So manipulatives are tools to help students solve problems by using physical models to represent their thinking. They can move and adapt the materials as they explore possible solutions to problems. So manipulatives help take abstract concepts and turn them into concrete understandings. So the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics stated, in this changing world, those who understand and do mathematics will have significantly enhanced opportunities and options for shaping their future. A lack of mathematical competence keeps those doors closed. So the key thing is understanding and doing the math. So that's what manipulatives give students the opportunity to do. So results have shown from a classroom study that students using virtual manipulatives, either alone or in combination with physical manipulatives, demonstrate gains in mathematics achievement and understanding. So it's proven that using these manipulatives strengthens the students' understanding with mathematical concepts. So here I have listed some websites that you could go explore at a later time. They are linked inside of your handout. These are all free resources. The one with the star is a paid resource because Promethean Board does have specific manipulatives that go with certain lessons, but they have to be paid for. But here at the bottom is an additional resource that you could download, and it is different backgrounds and templates of manipulatives that you can project on the screen, and you can use them with websites like whiteboard.fi, and you can have the students to annotate the manipulatives over the backgrounds. So as we're thinking about incorporating manipulatives into our lesson, there's 4 things that we should think about. 1, does the manipulative support the lesson's objective? Like, are we just giving them the manipulative just to have something out? No, it must support what you overall want them to learn. 2, do you have classroom procedures for manipulatives? Can you imagine giving centimeter cubes to a bunch of 6th graders and you don't have any procedure? You're going to have them on the floor. They're going to be throwing across the room. Anything. You have to have rituals and routines for how to collect the manipulatives, how to use them, and how to put them up when you are done. 3rd thing, the lesson should involve each student. Each student should participate with the manipulatives because you want to make sure that everybody is gaining an understanding. And then last thing, does the lesson have an evaluation? Are they just sitting there playing with the manipulatives and maneuvering them, or are you actually seeing that they understand what they are learning from the manipulatives? So let's go through a sample lesson. So usually I like to start my lesson with the warm-up, and the warm-up is a review of a previous concept and then a preview of what we're about to learn. So if I'm introducing one-step equations to students, I'm going to review decimals, but I'm also going to preview algebraic expressions before we get into the equations a little bit more deeply. So this activity requires you to obtain 5 stars. So the students would review decimals. So it gives them different problems to work with. If they get it wrong, then it just gives them another problem. I'm just not doing it right. All right. And so ultimately, you want to earn 5 stars. And then the preview would be the same thing with algebraic expression problems. Then I will introduce the actual lesson with a quick video. I'm just going to play a minute of the video. The video is modeling how to use the algebra tiles to solve equations.
Hi friends, we're going to do algebra and we're going to model and solve equations using algebra tiles. So this will be a fast and fun one. I love these kinds of visual representations of math because they really help you understand what's going on. So what are we trying to say? We're trying to say 3x's are equal to 3, right? So which one of these pictures has 3 x's on the left and which one has 3 number 1s on the right?
So of course, anytime that we're showing videos inside of a class, we should pause to give the students an opportunity to think about it and to give us, the teachers, the opportunity to explain it more in details. So if I had to eliminate one of these equations that does not have 3 x's, which one would I eliminate? And of course, it would be this one. This one only has 1 x.
Well, Fairly simple. 3 x's, 3 ones. So 3x equals 3. That's the picture, which kind of gives you a visual understanding that x equals 1, right? Because 3x equals 3. It's a great way to learn algebra. Good job, Math Games. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and select this. What's the process? Okay, great. We just touch it. Which set of algebra tiles represents the equation 3x equals 9? Okay, well, I think you get the idea here. So which one has 3 x's?
This is also an opportunity where you could probably go ahead and give them the manipulatives either in person, or you could pull up an algebra tile, split screen, so that they can model 9. And then they will model 3 x's.
Well, 2 of them do. This one and this one. Which one has 9 ones? Well, this one has 7 ones. This one has 9 ones. So it's that one. So 3x equals 9.
So these are just different ways that you can introduce the concept before you give them the practice. So here, on a Google slide, I would give them the worksheet. Of course, it would be multiplication and equations, but I would give them the worksheet, and then I would give them a link to be able to pull up the algebra tile sheet next to their worksheet so that they can explore with it a little bit more to answer the questions. And then as the closing, I would do a brain recap. So of course you could do ticket out the door, exit ticket, 3, 2, 1, or you could just do a simple brain recap. Use the mock algebra tile below and create an equation and model the equation. So again, this is on a Google slide. So they would type in their equation and then they would drag the items to model their equation. So if you're on our Newton County Secondary Mathematics Canvas course, you will find these manipulative sample lessons. So the one that we just did was a 6th or 7th grade algebra lesson. So for 6th grade, of course, it would be one-step equations. And for 7th grade, it'd be multi-step equations. But they come with a warm-up, an opening, work period, and closing. And then I have also included resources on the next page. So if you're in 6th grade, this would go with unit 3 and 4. If you're in 7th grade, this will go with unit 7. And then 8th grade, you can use this for any function or equations unit. In these algebra units, you can use the algebra tiles that we just used, or you can use the algebra balance beam. So the way that the balance beam works is it gives you the opportunity to put the cubes, the 1 cubes on one side or both sides, and then it gives you a bag which is unidentified, so it will represent X. And the kids are able to add and take away as many as possible to see if the equation equals. On the Canvas course, it is also a ratio sample lesson where it gives a warm-up, an opening, work period, and closing as well. And for ratios, you can use counters, you can use fraction bars, and you can also use color tiles to represent your ratio and proportions. So here we have some presentations. We have some with examples, some with practice problems, and some are just simulations that you can use with your own problems. And then lastly, for 8th grade, we have Pythagorean theorem. Same thing, warm up, opening, word period, and closing. And then we have a plethora of different simulations that you can use for Pythagorean theorem. So if there aren't any questions, I've seen a few things and responded in the chat. We're going to go to, instead of a ticket out the door exit ticket, we're going to do tic-tac-go. So the way tic-tac-go works is it is a Google slide, and I have put a question or comment inside of each box. You will drag the X and the O on top of the things that you agree with or can solve, and you try to get 3 in a row. Another great website is Flippity. Flippity gives you an opportunity to use manipulatives and game board. They have Flippity manipulatives, spinners, bingo, all types of ways that you can put your information in and you can assess the student's knowledge. But before you finish that and exit from the video, I would like for you to take this opportunity to scan the survey and please give feedback. Also, I have placed here a Google Bitmoji classroom that has all of the, I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull it up for us. They have all of the virtual manipulatives in one area. So I'm going to show you here. So when you first click on it, it's going to ask you to make your own copy. Then you'll be able to put it into your own Google presentation. You can embed it onto your Canvas. You can remove my Bitmoji and use it on your own. But you're able to click on the different virtual manipulatives. And then if you click more, we have more virtual manipulatives. So if we go here, we can now model the ratios. So 2 to 3, you can have the students to model the ratio and then write it as a fraction. They can write it in different forms.